So this is a Japanese boxwood that I pick up from a local nursery. It's a Boxwood Green Beauty. It's a good size. It's in a gallon pot. Just the one I like. It's also was a hard to find specimen because usually boxwood they are also slow growing. So to find a plant that's 1 gallon and that has such a good, well-developed trunk and roots is kind of hard. So here's why it's a good specimen. It has good root structure. The trunks looks old, you know. So you have to always don't worry to pick it up and look at the base. You know, rotate it around, try to find. Look like this one has a good trunk. Okay, one side note on taking plants from the nursery. The ones that I pick usually for bonsai are usually the ones that are old, that have been in a pot for a long time, like this one. So and just a side note, when you take, before you repot it, you make sure you water it for a few days. As you can see, usually these plants are completely root bound and has almost no soil in the pot, so it's just pure root. So what happens when you water it? The water will just drain out and it will never get water, and you can tell a little bit, the plant will suffer. You can see it can wilt a little bit because of inadequate watering. So what to do? Of course, the best thing is to repot it as soon as possible, but in my case I can only do that on weekends when I have time. So meanwhile, to water it properly, make sure you submerge, well, not submerge, put it in a pot, in some kind of water pan, and you water it, and you can see that then the water will stay in the pan, and leave it 10-20 minutes so the plant can soak up the water from the pan. Okay, for this boxwood bonsai, there's a lot of branches, so I need to really study well. I know some bonsai masters, they can just do everything on the fly on the day that they're pruning and potting, but for me, I still need to do some kind of planning and studying. And I have this plant for a couple weeks, and I just been studying it and then trying to think what will be the best angle and how to approach this. By the way, I did had a hard time deciding what to do, how to style this bush. There's just too many options. So I've been thinking about it for the longest time. Now this is what you do also. You can, you don't have to decide everything on the fly. You can start planning and even do some drawing. So study the tree. So initially I had thought this to be the front, and I changed my mind several times. It has a nice root structure like this. I also thought this could be the front, but after studying it for a while, I'm changing my mind. So I don't know, maybe you can see, maybe you can try to see if you can see something that I don't. Let me know, feel free to comment. So initially this is a 2-tree specimen. It grows something like this, and my initial idea was to style it like one tree. You can do something like this, some bushes. Sorry, I'm not a great sketcher, but this is my initial plan. But then I look at the plant. This looks some kind of boring. This is some kind of, it's kind of boring. So I want to change something. I think the greatest challenge here is that there's actually 2 trees. So you can treat them as one tree and just style them accordingly, like my previous sketch. Or you can just treat it as 2 trees. It'll be more challenging, more difficult, but it should be more interesting, and that's what I end up doing. So I after carefully rotating the tree and checking all the plants, branches, I found this view, this particular, okay, this is the view. I found this part of the trunk to be more interesting. It has some curvature here. Maybe this will be the apex. So so this will be tree number 1, and tree number 2 will be, instead of side by side, it will be actually behind it. I don't know if you, so with this new idea in mind, I now have one tree, actually the bigger one, the thicker one tree in front, you know, that could have something like this. And then I will have a second tree somehow in the back, you know, also with some branches, you know. Hopefully this will be a more interesting, this will be a more interesting design. Once I decided the design, now I actually start trimming, but it's really hard to see where the branches go because it's so dense. But since I've decided it's going to be 2 trees, you know, I can just separate them somehow. So I'm going to use this white background to separate the trees. And now for me it's actually easy to see. I don't know if it's easy for you to see with the light and everything, but for me, you know, now I can see this is all the branches that belong to tree number 1, the thick one, the one that's going to be in front. You know, when you're doing a design like this, you always want to put the thicker one in front because of the perspective, you know, the things that are closer to you are larger, and the thinner one you'll be in the back. And you know, now you can clearly see the branches of each tree. And now I'm just gonna style each tree separately. Okay, I'm gonna start pruning this tree number 1. As you can see, it's fairly dense, so there still has some branches that actually obscure my vision of the actual style of the tree. So I want to prune those off. So first of all, I decided this is going to be the apex, so of course this has to go. You know, I can always make the cut better later on. Also, this tree has a lot of growth in the back, you know, pointing toward this tree number 2. I'm going to remove those 2. Continue to remove. This is so this is going to be the new apex, and this couple branches I can save later. Here's this big thick branch that's going in the back. Most likely I won't need it, but I'm not sure yet. But in any case, it's just way too long and too big, so it has to go. So I'm just gonna cut it shorter for now. So with this being the apex, any of the branch that is taller can be cut. You know, so that makes it easier. This is an easier decision. So just keep cutting the branches. You know, just remember, you know, if you're not sure if you ever need this branch or not, you don't have to remove the branch completely. You can just cut it short, and then you can decide later on. This branch here, this will be a major side branch, so I will keep it, but I just had to make it shorter. Okay, better and better now. Of course, still need more pruning here, but just going down the branch now. This time I'm going from top down, just cutting from top down. And you can see here it's too lush here, too dense, so I'm gonna have to. This is the next area I'm gonna prune. So anything pointed up, cut it down. Anything pointing down, cut it out.
If they're too long, shorten it.
Okay, this is how it look. The tree number 1 after some branch removal. I'm starting to thinking now that I need to remove more of the lower branches. I believe this tree will look better if we show more of a trunk. This was not my original idea, but it looks like, you know, it will look better. We have more character if I do that. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to remove the lower branch. By the way, this tree is kind of taller than I thought. I mean, I was not thinking of making it so tall originally. According to the trunk size, this tree will probably look better up to here. This was probably my original height. But I think I'm just gonna leave it taller. I mean, I'm just kind of, it'll be kind of out of proportion, but it's okay. Okay, now it's the lower branch removed. Now we need to decide, since this is informal upright, we need to decide, okay, where is going to be the first major branch. You notice I purposely left a few options here, so I can start to picking where should be the very first low branch. What do you think? Of course, you also need to consider the tree in the back. Remember, there's a tree in the back, and they also will have some side branches. So when you make the selection, you want to make sure they don't overlap, so you don't have like the same side branch at the same level, some kind of like a parallel. That would look bad. So you need to take that into consideration. Okay, let's be a little bit bold now. So sometimes less is better. So naturally, this is actually my first choice for the first branch. It's kind of thick. It's pointing to, kind of in the wrong direction, so we'll probably need to somehow wire it down in the future. So I assume that will be the first. That's going to be my first branch. Okay, after some serious chopping, here it is. So this is the first branch. I can trim this to be shorter. No. This will be the second one. This is the third one. I kind of leave this here for now because there's some kind of cut here. I just want to cover the cut. Hopefully it will grow and it will cover the cut for now. This is the one that I'm gonna grow it back. You know, and I'm actually missing a branch here that I hope somehow you grow out in the future. And I'll probably just cut them short and wire them. So basically this is it. This is the shape of my tree number 1. It's a little bit unfortunate that this part here is kind of straight and kind of boring. So hopefully with the plant in the back, with the second tree, it will look more interesting. Now let's proceed with tree number 2.